Hi there. In this lesson, we're going to look at responding to partner's opening bid by bidding either a new suit of our own or by bidding no trumps. Now, for those of you who've got a copy of the book Beginning Bridge Book 1, you'll find that pages 34 and 35 of that book explain the material of this lesson particularly well. And I really recommend consulting that book and reading those pages. It will really help you get to grips with this subject. But first, before we delve into this, let's just have a quick recap of what we learned last week. Firstly, we looked at opening the bidding and we learned some simple rules for choosing which suit to open. Remember, we'll always open the bidding with at least 12 high card points. Sometimes even 11 high card points is enough. When we've got a balanced hand with 12 to 14 high card points, we'll always open the auction with one no trump. That's always the right bid for our system. Otherwise, you bid one of your longest suit. And if you've got two equal length suits, you normally bid one of the higher ranked of those two suits. The exception to that is when you hold exactly 4 cards in hearts and 4 cards in spades. In that situation, rather than opening the higher ranked spade, you actually open that one heart. So we covered that last week, and we also looked at the key situation where partner has opened a major suit. Now remember, their opening bid promises at least 4 cards in that suit, and you as responder also have 4 or more cards in that same major suit. In that situation, the auction's fairly straightforward. Our goal now is to simply support partner by bidding to the appropriate level depending on the strength of our hand. And we learnt these simple responses. With less than 6 high card points, we pass. With between 6 and 9 high card points, we can raise their suit to the 2 level. If we've got between 10 and 12 high card points, we can raise to the 3 level, and 13 or more high card points is enough for a game level contract. We can raise simply to 4 hearts or 4 spades, depending on which suit they've opened. We'll look at some other situations where responder must find a response to an opening bid of one of a suit by their partner. Remember that firstly, we should always pass if we've got fewer than 6 high card points. And as we learned last week, we would always support partner's major suit if we've got 4 or more cards in that suit. There are plenty of other situations where we still need to find a response, and perhaps we can't support partner's major. Firstly, perhaps they haven't opened with a major, and they've opened with a minor suit, or perhaps we don't have 4 cards in their major. In these situations, we must still make a responding bid. Opener could have a very strong hand, and there could be a game contract available. So we'll need to find a bid of some sort. We need to bid something, bid a suit, or perhaps sometimes we'll even bid one no trump. Let's have a look at our options and how we choose between them. Possible. Best option is often simply to reply with a new suit at the 1 level. Our bid shows at least 4 cards in the suit that we're bidding and at least 6 high card points. If we had fewer than 6 high card points, we'd be passing, of course. Partner won't know. We may have a lot more than 6 high card points. Our bid doesn't tell partner anything about how strong we might be other than we've got at least 6. So an example here, partner opens 1 diamond. If we were to respond to 1 spade, we're promising to hold at least 4 cards in spades and a minimum of 6 high card points, but obviously it could be a lot more. If we had 2 5 or 2 6 card suits, we would have to choose between them, and we would normally bid the higher ranking of those suits first. If we had 2 4 card suits to bid, then we would bid the cheapest of those suits first. Now, cheapest in this context means the lowest available bid over partner's bid. Now, that's not necessarily the same as the lower ranking suit. For example, suppose partner opens with 1 heart. If you've got 4 spades and 4 clubs in your hand, then the response of 1 spade to show the 4 spades is a much cheaper bid than bidding 2 clubs. By keeping the bidding at the 1 level, you're keeping the auction down at a lower level. That's what we mean by a cheaper bid. A cheaper bid is always better. Keep the bidding as low as possible so that there's more space for you and your partner to describe your hands to each other without the bidding getting too high. Now, sometimes you can't bid your suit at the one level. Perhaps partners opened a spade. Now, any suit response by you, any new suit response by you would have to be bid at the two level. To show clubs, diamonds or hearts, we would have to bid at the two level. This still shows a four or more card suit, but because we're now having to bid at a higher level, the two level, we should have a stronger hand. And that means at least 10 high card points, or maybe we could get away with 9 high card points and a good suit. So an example here, partner opens one spade. If we were to respond two diamonds, we're bidding at the two level. So we need to have at least 10 high card points, or perhaps 9, and we're showing 4 or more diamonds. Now there's one special case, and that involves the heart suit, and it's really important that we understand this one. If partners started with a bid of one spade, then any response by us of two hearts always guarantees we hold at least 5 or more cards, not 4 in the heart suit. And of course we must have at least 10 high card points, or perhaps 9, to make our bid. It's important to understand that if we responded with a new suit, either at the 1 or the 2 level, then our bids are termed forcing. Partner is obliged to bid again, as they don't yet know exactly how strong we are yet. They know we've got at least 6 or at least 10 points, but they don't know how strong we could actually be. We've promised a minimum number of points, but could have a lot more. So partner must bid again, and that will help us determine the final contract. And we'll see more about partners rebid or openers rebid in subsequent lessons. Now, sometimes our partner has opened with a minor suit, and you don't have a new 4-card suit to bid, but you do hold 4-card support for that minor. Then in that situation, you might simply just have to raise openers minor to either the 2 or to the 3 level. This bid promises 4 or more cards in their suit, and it denies holding a 4-card major suit that you could have bid, because otherwise you would always have chosen to bid a 4-card minor suit in preference to supporting 4-card major suit in preference to supporting a minor suit. Lastly, sometimes you have between 6 and 9 high card points, and you can't find a suit to bid at all. You're too weak maybe to bid at the 2 level. In that case, there's a special bid available. It's a bid of 1 no trump. It says, I have fewer than 4 cards in your suit, partner, so I can't support it. I'm also promising at least 6 high card points and probably no more than 9. I'm not strong enough to bid my own suit at the 2 level, and I've got no suit that I can bid at the 1 level. It's often called the dustbin bid because it captures all the rubbish hands that can't be described by a better responding bid. It doesn't even promise a balanced hand. It's simply the bid of last resort. It's telling partner that you can't pass because you're keeping the auction open in case they are strong. So you're not passing because you've got between 6 and 9 high card points, and you're doing your duty to keep the auction open because partner might actually have a strong hand. Now, in either of these last two options, that's supporting a minor suit or using this bid of 1 no trump, the so-called dustbin bid, in both of those situations, partner would know quite a lot more now about your strength and how limited you might be. So you've made what they call a limit bid. Partner now knows so much about your hand that they may well be able to choose the final contract. They may actually decide that the best option is simply to pass and not bid on. So when we make a bid like this, either a raise of a minor suit or the 1 no trump response, our bid is termed non-forcing. An opener can pass if they want to, or might choose to bid on if they feel there's still an opportunity to find a better contract. I want to look again at this special case. Okay, that's the special case is where partners open one spade and we would like to respond in hearts. Now remember, the rule here is if we're going to respond at the 2 level with a bid of 2 hearts over our partner's 1 spade opening, our bid is guaranteeing 5 or more cards in hearts and enough points to bid a new suit at the 2 level, which would be 10 or more high card points, possibly 9 high card points if you've got a good suit. Okay, hand number 1, let's have a look. Here, partner's opened a spade, and this is our hand. We've got 10 high card points and we've got 5 hearts. So we qualify here for a hand that's suitable to make that response of 2 hearts. We'd like to bid 2 hearts, and our hand has the right shape and strength. We have enough points to bid a new suit at the 2 level. That's 10 high card points. And we've got 5 cards in our heart suit. So we can respond 2 hearts, correctly describing our hand. Okay. Here's some situations where we can't quite do that. Hand number 2, we've got 5 cards in the heart suit. We'd like to bid 2 hearts. However, our hand isn't strong enough to bid a new suit at the 2 level. We've only got 8 high card points. That's too weak to bid a new suit at the 2 level. So here, although we'd like to bid 2 hearts, we're not able to. We can't bid our suit at the 2 level, but we're too strong to pass. So our only bid available now, we don't have any other 4 card suits we can bid. Our only bid that's available to us is simply to bid 1 no trump, the so-called dustbin bid, the bid of last resort. I'm keeping the auction open, partner. I've got at least 6 points. I'm not necessarily balanced either, but I'm doing my duty to keep the auction open in case you have a strong hand, partner. That's all that bid of 1 no trump means. Hand number 3. Here, we've got 9, we've got 10 high card points, but we've only got 4 cards in the heart suit now. We'd like to bid hearts, but if we were to bid 2 hearts over 1 spade here, then we would be guaranteed, we'd be telling our partner we held 5 cards in the heart suit. So it would be misleading to do that. So we're not able to bid 2 hearts yet. Our only possible bid that we can teach at this point in our bridge career is to bid 2 no trumps. Okay, that shows around 10 to 12 high card points and a balanced hand. It's a bid that's very rarely used, and as you become more experienced, you'll learn alternatives to bidding the 2 no trump bid here. And that 2 no trump bid we often use for something far more constructive. But for now, the only way we could describe this type of hand correctly in the system we're learning is to bid 2 no trumps. But it's a bid you won't come across very often, and I'm certainly not going to set any hands for us to deal with at the moment that would require you to make that bid. This video into 2 parts. So that's the end of part 1. We've covered the roadmap for responding. In part 2, we'll look at some examples of responding bids and how the auction continues after that. I hope to see you in part 2.